my lovely friends. I hope you are having a wonderful Tuesday. Today is a jam-full pack for Tea Garden Bakeries. We have a lot of prepping to do for the week. Lots of tea blends to make, some more salves to make because you guys are really loving that comfrey salve. But right now I am in the process of making Honey Bunny and I lunch. And I wanted to show you one of my favorite things, and Honey Bunny loves them too. And today we are having one of my meals, which is a vegetarian meal. So today there is no meat in our lunch diet, and Honey Bunny's cool with the no meat sometimes. But anyways, I want to show you one of the simplest ways to eat sweet potatoes so incredibly delicious. So without further ado, let me show you. I apologize, I didn't think of this earlier when I was doing it. But what I do is I peel my sweet potato and then I shave it very thinly. Sometimes I use a peeler, but today I used a grater. That's right, on the side where it has let me just show you. This is what I use today because I had some pretty big potatoes. Wouldn't say that it's safe to use when you've got small pieces. That's when I use just the peeler to get them super thin. Now the peeler does get them super thin, but it takes a long time. Now I used to deep fry these years ago, before we started getting into the healthy. We were just getting into the healthy stuff, and so I used to fry them in olive oil, and then I thought, no, there's got to be a better way. And then we discovered the air fryer. Oh boy, has that changed the way that we do vegetables in this house. Most of them are air fried, and they are so delicious. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these. I've I just tossed them in some sunflower oil. I know some of you say seeds, Sherry, are so bad for you. No, don't do the seed oils. Well, if you go back to the first chapter in Genesis, or the first few chapters in Genesis, it talks about where God created the seed and the fruit, and both were good for eating. So I'll take the Bible over what research shows, and so far we've been pretty healthy with eating the sunflower seed oil, and it tastes delicious, and it replaces our butter. So we go from the saturated to the unsaturated and lose no flavor at all. So anyways, I also top with some organic garlic granules that I get from Azure Standards, and then of course some wonderful sea salt, and I just top it and toss it again, and now it's time for the air fryer. I am probably going to air fry it on 450 for probably 5 minutes because there's a few of them in here. I'll keep an eye on it. It may be less than that, but of course I have to go in there and toss them around just a little bit. But I'll see you when it's done. Okay, so while I've got my sweet potatoes in the air fryer, my peas, my field peas, and my butter beans on the stove going, I'm going to go ahead and cut some sourdough bread. This is my vegan style Moon Harvest sourdough bread. It's been in my freezer, so it might be a little bit difficult to cut, but the bread will last about 6 months in the freezer. And this is made with 2 ancient grains, being einkorn and emmer. And einkorn, according to history, is the oldest grain that there is, and probably the most healthiest of all grains. Now, of course, I can't verify that, but that's just through the history and the research that I have found, and it tastes delicious. And also, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I want to give a shout out to, check out this awesome shirt. Does this not fit me perfect? I love this shirt from Tripping Seed. So they're not always at Pass Market, but what you can do is follow their page and follow their schedule, and it'll show you where they'll be. Tell you, you will love their shirts. I have more than one, and you will absolutely love their shirts. And it is Tripping Seed. And isn't this just adorable? Perfect. Okay, so today is a work day because I will be doing a lot of stuff. I will be making a lot of tea blends. I'm fixing to get ready to pull the comfrey infused oil out of the machine and make a comfrey salve, and I'll take you along on that journey here after lunch. If in the background of my house you'll see a lot of things, it's because I'm getting ready to do some work today, and so I have to pull everything out. But anyways, back to the bread. So here's the bread, and I didn't want to take time to show you how to cut it because I think you guys know how to cut bread. But anyways, so the good thing about the fresh milled flour bread is that it doesn't have a long shelf life on the counter, but it does have a long shelf life in the freezer. You can keep it up to 6 months in the freezer. I do highly recommend that you cut it in slices before you put it in the freezer so you can just get what you need, because it's a lot harder to cut frozen. And that's part of the reason why I didn't show it to y'all on the video, because I was struggling for real. So anyways, but today we are going to do a few things, and I'm just going to take you on a snippet through just a little sneak peek so you can see what my work day is like as far as putting tea blends together. I have a really phenomenal tea blend that I'm so excited to share, because this Saturday night after the market, we went to go eat, and I just said, honey, I'm just not feeling right. Something is just, and my throat was hurting, and I thought, man, I just got a lot of allergies, and I'm thinking, I've been drinking my allergy tea, so I thought maybe something else is going on differently. And so I just, I came home and relaxed, and that night I said, you know what? No, I didn't take anything that night. I kind of just went to bed, and I woke up Sunday and I was like, oh, even worse. I mean, Sunday was just like a very bad day. I felt quite ill. And then I said, no, I'm going to go through my teas and see what I have and see what I can throw together. And I did some, of course I do some research, and I knew that I had some cherry bark, and I thought, you know what? Cherry bark is great for sore throats, and it helps with it's got a mucilage in it that pulls the mucus in your body, and it just absorbs that mucus. And so and it's called a mucilage. And so I thought, you know what, that's probably what I need. So I made me a cherry bark tea, just put cherry bark in it. Oh man, and I did that just before I went to bed, and man, did I sleep. And I woke up Monday morning feeling as chipper as could be. So I said, I'm going to go ahead and do a little licorice with that, because licorice also has great healing properties for multiple things. And I thought, and what could, cherry licorice, right? We all love licorice, and we all love cherries. Well, most of us anyway. And so I thought, cherry licorice, why not? So I got me some licorice root and some cherry root, and I boiled it and made me 2 glasses full, so I can drink one during the morning and then one later that afternoon if I needed it. Well, I didn't need the second one, because by the time I finished the first one, I was just back to normal. So I am so excited to share that tea blend, because I know personally now that it does work, because it worked on me. And I tell you, I'm a tea herbal person, and I really won't go to the doctor. And I even told my husband, and I said, if this is not gone, I'm going to go to the doctor, because that's just how bad I was feeling. But my herbs didn't let me down. They pulled through, and by the mid part of Monday, I was back to my normal self doing things. And so today, I'm going to make up for that time that I lost while I wasn't feeling so good. So I'm going to be doing a lot of things today, and hopefully take you along on the journey with me so you can see what happens when Tea Garden Bakery is getting ready for the market on Saturday. Okay, so now the sweet potatoes are ready, and just look at that. Let me set this back. Look at how delicious they look. I know they're making your mouth water, and don't be fooled by the burnt, because the burnt even tastes better. So now I have to let them cool so they'll crisp up, because if I took them out and immediately ate them, they would be nice and soggy. But once the air hits them, they get nice and cool, and it's like eating a sweet potato chip. So now what I'm going to do is put my bread in the little convection oven and air fry some zucchini, and then dinner. Here's how I make our bread at home, especially if it's come out of the freezer, so it's nice and crisp. And so I will just put, take this off right here. So I will just, I don't skip on my butter when it comes to bread. There's just some things, you know, I try to stay healthy, but butter is my sweet treat, so I will eat butter. So what I do is I just take and dip like this. And if you don't have an air fryer, that is perfectly fine. You can stick it, you can do this and stick it in the oven and put it in your oven for, you know, as high as you can get it, like under the broiler part maybe, or, you know, just not as high as you can get it, probably about 450. And then just let it sit in there. Of course, it'll probably take a little bit longer in the oven than it will on the air fryer, and it won't get as crisp, but it will still get a little toasty. If you don't want to do either of those, then you can stick it in the toaster, but don't put any butter on it while you're toasting it. And now you can also put, like, if you want added flavor with this, like if you wanted garlic toast, or, you know, we use the organic garlic granules. So, you know, you can do that, but we kind of like it just, my granddaughter doesn't like, she doesn't like garlic, so we've learned to just live without it when it comes to bread, and I think we all kind of like it better. If you don't want to use butter, you can use an olive oil. Olive oil will work great, and so will sunflower oil or avocado oil, just whatever you normally use to toast your bread. Then I'm going to put it in the little Instapot air fryer / convection oven. If y'all follow my YouTube page, you'll see that I'm an Instapot girl. Everything, you'll find so many Instapot recipes on there because I love anything and everything Instapot. Even getting ready to make some homemade yogurt. And if you have an Instapot, you know how delicious that yogurt can be. So anyways, back to the bread. So it'll stay in there for probably about 5 to 6 minutes. Probably because I cut them a little thicker, it probably will be 5 minutes. Normally I keep it in there 2 to 3 minutes. But anyway, so that's the vegan bread. Now I don't sell the vegan bread at the market, but you can order it upon request, and we can make arrangements for pickup. But it is made and it is delicious. But anyways, okay, so a little change up in plans. I've decided to go with making him some rice and broccoli, because I think we're kind of just, we've had a lot of eggplant and a lot of zucchini, and opted to do the broccoli. Now I do get this broccoli from Azure Standards, and it is incredible. Oh my gosh, I love this broccoli. So this is what we eat, and it's organic and it's delicious. And you get it frozen, but it tastes so wonderful. Okay, so now I'm just going to put, let me switch this over a little bit. Okay, so now I'm just going to put some sunflower seed oil, because we use that in place of butter on most things except for my bread. Just a little bit in there. And then I'm going to kind of just toss it around. Then I'm going to season it with garlic. Now, what the grandchild doesn't know is that she loves my broccoli. And I always put garlic in my broccoli. She don't like garlic. But she always wants Grandma to make her broccoli because she knows that. She just likes Grandma's broccoli. But anyways, so since she likes Grandma's broccoli, Grandma makes it for her quite often because, you know, that's the grand princess. Okay, so the bread is beeping and it's telling me that it is ready. So let's look at this crispy deliciousness. Oh, look how beautifully toasted that is. And so what I'm going to do now is stick it back on the plate that had all the butter in it. And stick this in the warmer while I make the broccoli. So what we'll do here is we're gonna stick the broccoli in here next. And okay, so let's do the broccoli. Turn this on. Got it for 6 minutes. Stick this in here. And then, oh, I didn't start that, so we'll just stick this right in there, and we'll check on it in 6 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to set up our seating area so we can get ready for lunch. My favorite way to eat vegetables from our garden. I have the cucumbers in there, the cherry tomatoes and bell peppers with a dab of olive oil. So delicious. Our air fried vegetables. I left the broccoli in a little bit longer than I intended, so it's a little burnt, but it's still delicious. And then of course the sweet potatoes, and then the delicious sourdough bread. So, and here you go. Here is our vegetarian lunch. There you go. Honey Bunny likes his cucumbers with nothing on them, just fresh and cut. And then our broccoli, we eat family style, so, and we eat on paper plates. We ain't nothing fancy. And I've got my rose hibiscus tea with chamomile, and then my garden salad and garden veggies. And there you go. Bon appetit.